Junk Monkey Paint Company, and yes, that watermelon was delicious. It is hot today. The last time I checked, it's 88 degrees. The beautiful thing about watermelon, it's like having a cold drink and something to eat at the same time. So you know me, I like to fuel up before we get into a project. And I'm excited to work on this project today. Because it's so hot outside, I figured what kind of stuff can I do inside under a roof? And you guys might recognize this piece from when we did our 10-day milk paint challenge with the release of our 10 new milk paint colors. And we did a project for every color. You got to learn about milk paint, you got to see a fun transformation go down, and also get to see some awesome colors. So do you guys remember the color that was on this piece right here that we worked on? To get it to this point, we did a few steps, and there is a video right here on my channel where you see this color with lemonade, and you see me get it to this part, but it's not done just yet. Sometimes when you're working on projects, you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it. You kind of gotta trust in the process, right? Because this is a chippy look that I'm going for, and the last thing I did with it was quite literally put milk paint over the top of it, let it chip, and I haven't done anything. So I'll take you in close so you can really see it, but today we're gonna do some stenciling. So yeah, a little paint stenciling. We're also gonna do some distressing and some sealing as well. I wanna get this done today. That's the beauty of being able to flip a project in a day, get it done, and then move it into your house and then get to enjoy it. Do you have a project right now that you have not finished up? Well, I hope this gives you some motivation to pick it up and just get it done. I'm gonna feel so much better because as this piece just sits around, it just drips all these little chippy pieces, right? Because it's chipping, and right now it's like as if you knock it over, the chippiness will fall off. So anyway, let me show you up close what I mean. So this is what I mean when I say she is ready to chip and flake. And go back and watch that video if you want to see what we've done up to this point. Basically, in a nutshell, this is crazy eyes, this is mermaid tail. We put a layer of Junk Monkey shine in between those layers. We let the bottom paint layer dry first. We did the monkey shine. We did not buff it off. We just mixed up our Junk Monkey milk paint and lemonade color, this beautiful yellowy color, and then we just gave it a, honestly, just like a wash all over it, and then we just let it sit, right? And we let it sit and sit, and because there's so much chippiness with this piece, I could not get it outside, bring it outside because it was so cold, and it's been sitting here waiting to be finished up. Oh my gosh, don't you just love that? I don't know, some people will be like, girl, I want my paint job to stay on. Me, I'm like, no, let it fall off. Love it. But yeah, it's just a mess right now, so I'll show you my favorite thing that I use as well to be able to get the chippiness to stop and to just kind of like bring it to a halt so it's finally finished. So that's what we're gonna work on today, guys. And I am excited because I think I got a place in mind for this piece. As I joke and say, I think I got a place for this piece. Come on, we can fit any piece anywhere, anytime if we really wanna keep it. Let's be honest here. I'm gonna get my glasses on, some eye protection, put my mask on, and then grab my sander here. And we're gonna go ahead and sand all over this piece. You can hand sand. I'm just gonna grab this sander. I already got it hooked up with a sand pad already on it. I'm just gonna make use of that one. It's not too, it's worn a little bit, so, because I don't want it to like take my paint completely off. I want it to buff it down with a lower grit sand pad. So I'm gonna use the one that's already on here for that. And go all over it, get the chippiness to fall. Oh, now that I think about this, you know what? Okay, let's do this, okay? And let this be a learning thing for you guys. Because this piece is super old and chippy looking and I want to keep with that, I did say that I wanted to put a stencil on top of it. If I want my stencil to be distressed and just kind of feel like it fits in with the rest of the piece, it would be very smart of me right now to put my stencil down, and then when I let it dry, and then when I do the distressing overall, it can take some bits and pieces off of it to make it feel worn and feel like it's supposed to fit with the piece, right? If I did not do that and I put my stencil on later, my stencil could look a little bit more like perfect, right? It's like looking in good shape and the rest of the piece looks like it's falling apart. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and pull a stencil. Let me pull a stencil and let's do that first. And I know when I do this that because some of these pieces want to fall off, parts of my stencil will also fall off, but that's what I want. You guys might hear right now the sounds of summer outside my house. Both my neighbors are out and they're power washing and working on stuff. Matt's been working on stuff. He's actually just had to make a run out to get a piece for or another piece for some of that, what do you call that stuff that goes inside a weed whacker? That string. You know that green string? Yeah, he's gonna get some more of that. So it's kind of silent around here right now. So I figured this is a good time for us to work together. So the sounds of summer. What does your neighborhood sound like right now? I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. I think this would be really cool. It's just a bunch of flowers. You know, I love some flowers. I'm gonna pull this out so you guys can see it. This, you can put it all over the top if you wanted to, which could be a look in itself. I'm a bit of a corner floral kind of girl, so I'm going to look at maybe pulling my flower somewhere in the corner, like maybe somewhere like that would be kind of cool. Let me see here. Do I like that? I do like that. Or even pulling it so this big flower is down here a little bit closer. So remember that when you get a stencil, you don't have to put the entire thing on it, right? See, I'm going to put my brush there, make it sit, and I'm going to pull out my antique lace because I want my stencil to feel faded. In this case, for the look that I'm going for, I figure if I use a light cream, it'll be nice and light. All right, let me stir up my paint. Always stir your paint up, friends. Put a few spritzes of water in there if you need to really get it going. I always tell you guys to even spritz in a little bit of water before you close up your can when you're done with it for the day, because that way it'll keep moisture in your can before you close the lid. And in case there's any air that can get underneath your lid, you'll be covered. This looks really good. It's making me think about the whipped cream that I have in my refrigerator right now. I want some berries and chocolate chips. What are you guys having for supper tonight? Anything good? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and grab a shabby chip brush for this effect. I use my chip brushes over and over again. You can find them on my website. I left this one in the sink. It got wet and it rusted a little bit right here. That's okay, the brush still works fine. So I'm just somebody who will use and use and use this brush until, you know what, it's done for, and then I'll toss it. All right, into my antique lace I go, and I'm only putting a little bit of this on here, right? Remember, I want a faded stencil. So this is an easy way to be able to cheat and get a faded stencil. Because this shabby chip brush has hard bristles, it skips. So that means when you put your paint down on it, it doesn't give you full coverage. I think I heard Matt come back. Did you get what you needed?
I got, yes.
Yay! All right, you ready to pull it off, friends? I'm not trying to get complete coverage. Ta-da! We got a beautiful faded flower. Let me pull it up so you guys can see it before we distress it. Just something really simple right there. Be kind of cool to put one on the other side right there, now that I think about it. I could do that. I could do that. I could also go all over with it. What's your vote right now? All over or just in the corner? All right, guys, so here we are. So if you wondered, maybe you voted. What would Sonia do, right? Did you keep the corner? Did you go all over? That was the last thought I was saying here. Yeah, well, I decided to go all over. So was that your vote? Because if so, it just came true. All right, let me show you all over. Once I got that on, I looked at it and I thought, you know what? I'd love a faded look all over the top of it. Loving it where it's at right now. And let me show you over the top how this looks over the top. Yeah, love it. Love experimenting. See? And even though, like when using this stencil, some of it overlaps, I love that broken, shabby look. How about you? So I think it's gonna fit nice. And now we just let this dry. I feel like this could totally be a beachy table. Once we let this dry, then we can sand all over and we'll fade this out even a little bit more. So do you see how I just kind of went all over with my brush strokes just to make it kind of messy looking? There goes Matt in the background, this is a good time to let this dry, take a break, and then I'll be right back on to sand it. Ooh, look at all those lovely cracks over there. Love it. Ooh, the other thing that we can do is down here, at the base down here, is to add a little bit, you know, this is gonna be sanded as well, but just to add in, to bring a little bit of that antique lace down, make it feel like a little more definitely coastal and whitewashed. But basically, so the bottom will match the top. Your eye loves repeating patterns. So let's give it a little bit of lightness in here. I'm just dry brushing a little bit of white all over the parts. And I know we're going to be sanding, so parts of this will be stay on, parts of it won't. I could get, you know, I could get out the white glaze if I wanted to give this more of a whitewashed look. So you got some options. Ooh, I like that down there. It's funny. Do you see all those little pieces falling off even with just my brush spinning over it? Can't wait to get the sander spinning over it.
Can't get up alone, too heavy on my own. The world is moving on, I'm still standing here, searching for steady ground, a place to settle.
So I just finished going over the piece with this one, and it ripped off a lot of big chippies for me. At this point, it can't get into all the little nooks and crannies that make up all the detail of this piece. So now I'm gonna go ahead and grab for my fine polishing pad. Just to let you know, friends, that these pads and the supplies I use you can find on my website at junkmonkeypaint.com. But this is one of my favorite tools right here because it's bendable, it's a nice area of coverage. And so now what I can do is take this. This is great for spindles that you're trying to polish and buff up. Because it's fine grit, it's not going to rip off, like for example, like a coarse sand pad would. But what it will do for me is let me polish this and get any little remaining milk paint pieces that want to fall off.
I'll follow you. Make the same mistakes, forget how much it takes.
All right, so now we're ready to seal in this beauty right here. This is my favorite part because after you've taken the time to sand down your piece, it might look a little muted to you. That's completely normal. That's because you've sanded the minerals down that make up the paint. And so now we're ready to activate them back to life again, okay, and make those color pigments pop. So this is my favorite thing to seal my Junk Monkey milk paint pieces in. Sometimes you see me use Monkey Shine, but my ultimate favorite is definitely going to be the banana peel. I just opened this can, so I'm going to stir it up really, really good. Make sure you always stir up your products so that they work properly. This product will dry clear and glossy. This is our new glossy. We have a matte and a glossy sheen. But make sure that you stir it well, so that way it can set up the way it's supposed to and do what it's supposed to do, right? Let all those ingredients combine so they work together in harmony, sweet harmony, and nothing is out of whack. So this is a top coat to protect your furniture pieces. It's going to dry hard and clear. This is a polyacrylic, so think about when you I don't know, when you do acrylic nails, they're pretty hard, right? Same sort of thing with this. So this is the reason why I enjoy putting this on as I finalize my Junk Monkey milk paint pieces, is because it basically keeps everything in place, right? It dries hard, and as a result of that, if there's any little pieces, it dries everything down with it. So I'm gonna do 2 coats of my glossy banana peel right here. It's water-based, easy cleanup. Yeah, it's just awesome. And of course, my favorite brush right here. I have one of these brushes for when I paint, one of these brushes for when I poly. They're soft, gives me beautiful full coverage. So when I lay down my poly, it's gonna give me, yeah, just nice. It's gonna cover it all, right? That's what you want it to do. Well, friends, I just moved this piece into the house. I literally just laid it inside the door, and I thought to myself, now where do I want to put this? And already I am just loving on it. You can definitely see my style here behind me. This is totally up my alley, but I know that in my workspace, I've got all that stuff behind me and it's super colorful, but I promise you, the moment that you bring a piece like this, even though it's got a lot going down, but the moment you put it in its natural habitat, like, you know, just a regular walls, regular floors, all of a sudden, it's a statement piece and it stands out and it's very beautiful. So I love this. All right, friends, thank you so much for tuning in and finishing off this project with me. It feels good to have it done. And I hope it gives you some inspiration as well to get out there and finish up something that you started. It feels good to find a place for this piece now in the house. And she is done. She's not looking at me anymore going, Sonia, will you ever get back to me? Please finish me off. So now she is completely done. Grab a brush, go bananas, and I'll see you guys again soon.